What is up? Welcome to Heat the Waves podcast, the best sports show there is, freaking period. I'm Mr. Bradley, your host, of course, with my colleague, my best friend of the show, and co-host, Travis Lee. What up, dog?
What's up, guys? Glad to be here. Another exciting episode on the Heat Waves podcast. Don't forget to subscribe. Glad to be back talking a little football with you guys here. Send it back to Mr. Bradley. Get it started off for you guys.
Yes, sir. It's been a minute since we've had some videos out. We were trying some different things. It didn't work out, so we're back at it, baby. We're bringing you the best opinions that we have about sports. T-Ball, tell them what's going on, and we'll hit them with what we think about it.
You've got DeAndre Baker, who's a Giant, and you've got Quentin Dunbar, who's a Seattle Seahawk. Both play in the secondary, and these guys are facing 4 counts of armed robbery and 4 counts of assault. Just a crazy situation with some of these, players, and these guys are top prospects. I know Cody Lattimore, with his move to Washington, hasn't produced a lot. He's a wide receiver over there. But these 2 cornerbacks you got here, especially in Quentin Dunbar and Baker, these guys are really good players. They're young. One of them was a top rookie over there in New York. These guys just making some bad decisions, and it's a crazy situation to say. I don't know if it's because they have so much money, they just have nothing better to do, or what's going on, but it's interesting to see how the NFL has to deal with so many problems, and a lot of these have to do with assault or gun charges. It kind of just usually disappears. I mean, they let them deal with their own situations on and off the field, but, the NFL can only do so much as far as going, you just can't play football until everything's figured out.
Right. Well, here's a situation. It's a Wednesday night. These guys are at a party. Dunbar and Baker, they're at a party, and apparently they just start armed robbery with semi-automatic weapons, just robbing the guests at this party of money, watches, and various things of items, that are obviously worth value. And this must be a big-time party, I'm thinking, right? Like some kind of big-time party. And I just don't get the mentality behind this and the decisions behind this, because you obviously make enough money in the NFL. You don't need to rob people. And they're only first-year players. They're just first-year players this year.
Right.
I mean, it's blowing me away that you're just at a party. I mean, this had to have been premeditated. The way I feel about it and look at it, of the situation and everything it says with the affidavit and the lawyer saying not to look too much into this. Well, yeah, you don't want us to look negative upon your clients.
Yeah, apparently their lawyer had said they had several people that would exonerate them, several statements, and police had filed the police statement. So they said, they have plenty of witnesses that'll get them off the hook. But at the same time, it's like these are probably your people, most likely.
Right. And
I mean, it's just interesting to see, like, maybe these guys had a rough growing up, and you got to think of it this way. I mean, these guys were so good at football. Once they get to high school, they got problems at home, but they're still the biggest swinging dick in the yard. Everybody loves them. Everybody knows who they are, and they get a lot of attention. And then being young and getting that much attention kind of boosts your ego a little bit. People start lining your pockets, and then you get away from all the trouble that you would think. You go to a big D1 college. You're one of the best prospects out of that college into the NFL draft, and things are starting to get you a sense to where you can get away from all that. It has to do with this whole hip-hop persona, kind of. I think being a thug and being good at sports, I guess, is supposed to go hand in hand. I don't understand it. It's like, for one, if you're a professional football player and you're good and now you're at this professional stage, you have to act like a professional. Why are you carrying guns around with you? Why are you even being accused of robbing people? Why are you placing yourself around people who put you in these situations?
Yeah, why are you in this position? But I guess the real question is, what should you do with these guys, and what do you do with guys in the future when this does happen? Because the way I look at it, it's like, why are you ruining something that's so incredibly hard to get into, for one?
Yeah, you know how many people would love to be in your shoes?
Absolutely.
And you're running around doing stupid stuff?
Fucking it up horribly. And it makes no sense to me, because why? What is it? Is it one of these things to where you're like, I ain't got nothing better to do. I know about this party. I know about all these rich people. We could rob these guys, get away with it. They ain't gonna mess with us. And if they do, we have all this money. We could hire these lawyers and get out of it.
And I think it's funny is the situations what happens if, do you really think you can get away with it? Because when
They know
you're
your
a
face
superstar athlete, when you've gotten to this level, everybody is watching you. Everybody is waiting for you to do something.
and mess up.
And you're giving them exactly what they want when you walk around with a gun or get into a situation you shouldn't be in. And I don't understand why you have this thug life mentality when
You're in the
you
NFL
have the
now.
money. You
You
have the
made
money
it.
to do whatever you want. Yeah,
Yeah, you
you're at the
made it.
top of the world. You have the means to do whatever you want, and you want to go out and do stupid things. I don't understand it. But the NFL, I guess, can't really do a whole lot because you have to consider the fact that they're basically a business, and it's just like a job. On the outside, me, you, Joe Schmo, when we go to our regular jobs, if we get arrested and you know we get exonerated in something pretty heavy and our bosses find out, we're probably going to lose our jobs, especially if it interferes.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah. It's totally different for these sports players though, right? They don't have to forfeit any of their money. They don't have to forfeit their job. Yeah, they may just be put out there and in front of the camera a lot more and stuff like that. But it's just the fact that this is happening with people like this. Like, what was the situation coming into this? What led up to this? What made you go through with your decisions to even rob somebody? And
maybe some of these guys just had to grow up faster than they could, or maybe the money's just too much for it. The limelight's too much because they can walk around with a gun. They don't have to. You have security. You can do that. I mean, I'm sure you got your homies with you, but I don't understand it. It's you got to look at it like this. If you're in a professional limelight, you have to stay professional. Stay away from all the crap. And I mean, it's the whole reason you made your way to make this amount of money was to get away from it, and you just dragging it right on in.
sweep, sweep, sweep. And that's how we're going to end this segment. Stay tuned. We're going to bring back some LeBron here on this next one. I'm sure you guys will love this. Talk about LeBron. So stay tuned with us, Mr. Bradley, my colleague, T-Ball. Peace out. Heated Waves podcast. Until the next one.